The CMAs really said, you jigaboos can take that Cowboy Carter and shove it up your... Hey, I'm Asani. This is Culture Unfiltered. Welcome to my channel. Don't mind the background. Just moved into a new apartment in Harlem literally last week. If you have any recommendations, drop them down in the comment. But I wanted to talk about this headline because there is so much discourse on gatekeeping over on Twitter, aka X. And here the CMAs have given us another blaring example of what it truly means to gatekeep. So I'm sure y'all saw this headline, but I'll go ahead and skim through it real quick so that y'all can know what it is that we're talking about today. The CMA Awards, Beyonce snubbed, Morgan Wallen, Post Malone earned multiple nominations. They said Queen Bee was completely shut out despite having one of the year's biggest country albums with Cowboy Carter and hit song Texas Hold'em. The 2024 CMA Awards have showered Morgan Wallen and Post Malone with multiple nominations, but heavily snubbed Beyonce. Now, it's important to remember that Post Malone started off rapping, but he is in his country bag at the moment, okay? Though she had one of the year's biggest country albums with Cowboy Carter and biggest country songs with Texas Hold'em. Wallen leads the way at the CMAs with 7 nominations, no surprise. He's followed by Chris Stapleton and Cody Johnson, who each earned 5 nods, while Malone and Layton Wilson picked up 4 apiece. It says Beyonce's Cowboy Carter made history this year when it spent 4 weeks on top of Billboard's top country albums chart, making her the first Black woman to achieve the feat. She also became the first Black woman to hit the #1 spot on Billboard's Hot Country Songs charts with Texas Hold'em, which held the top position for a whopping 10 weeks. I didn't even know all of these stats about Texas Hold'em or Cowboy Carter. Both her single and album also led Billboard's all-genre Hot 100 and 200 albums charts, while 7 other country Cowboy Carter tracks hit the top 10 on Billboard country charts. The 27-track project features Dolly Parton, Willie Nelson, Linda Martell, Miley Cyrus, and actually Post Malone. And they ended by mentioning the theme of the album was Black people reclaiming country and doing a deep dive into the origins of the genre and all of the greatness that Black country artists have laid out previously for Beyonce to have this moment, okay? But the CMA said, we don't give a damn. Beyonce is not a country artist, therefore she will not be getting a country award at this year's award show. And if you ever wanted to know what true gatekeeping is, this in 2024, what the CMAs is doing is it. Now, I've done a lot of research on the history of country music and how heavily it is gatekept. And this is just like the tip of the iceberg. Now let's travel back 5 years to when Lil Nas X released Oldtown Road, a song that audibly is very country with a remix that even featured Billy Ray Cyrus. Do y'all remember when Billboard removed Oldtown Road from the country chart because country music was like, and I say this with the utmost respect for Lil Nas X, this little gay Black boy from Atlanta is not about to infiltrate our charts with this bouncy hip hop fusion country music. The song literally debuted on the 19th spot of the Billboard country charts, and then a week later it was gone, and then placed on the hot rap song charts, and then went on to become Billboard Hot 100's longest running #1 song ever. Now, if you look at the music industry meaning the business of music, any sector would obviously want that type of success within their particular genre because that success means exposure, that exposure means money. The institution of country music doesn't care about other people's money. They don't care about other people's exposure. They don't care about other people's prestige. They care about keeping country music the way it currently is, and that is lily white. And to be honest, even though it leaves a really bad taste in your mouth and country music was developed by Black people originally, that's their right. They have the system set up in place to where they can successfully gatekeep country music, and they're exercising that right. The sad part about it is when it comes to music that was created by Black people, we don't have that same luxury. Now, back in 2016, during Beyonce's Lemonade era, she popped up at the CMAs and performed with the Dixie Chicks. And at the actual ceremony, everybody was loving it. People were on their feet. It was a great time. Everybody was getting their lives. But the online reception to Beyonce at the CMAs was a totally different story. Those people who were sitting at home watching all of this go down, those hardcore country fans, said, what is that gal doing on stage at our CMAs when she's talking about police reform and the Black Lives Matter movement and all of this? They were pissed at Beyonce, despite all of her accolades and her amazing talent, was taking up space at this award show and sharing a stage with the Dixie Chicks. They were saying that Beyonce is not what country represents, even though she is a Southern woman from Houston, Texas. And even though other artists like Justin Timberlake in previous years had shared a stage with country artists like Chris Stapleton with zero to little backlash, even though his music is traditionally pop. Now, what does this mean for other country artists? Now, earlier in the video, I did mention that I hadn't seen any news surrounding Shaboozey being nominated, but I do see that he got nominated for Song of the Year and like Best New Artist, which is great for him. He has had the #1 country song on the charts for an immense amount of time, so it is so well deserved. But when it comes to Black artists having success in country music, it is obvious that it might give, y'all can participate, but just one at a time. And we'll be the ones to decide who we want to participate and when we want them to participate and how much we want to give them. Now, even though Shaboozey is nominated, there is no confirmation that he will win the award. Now, given all of this negative backlash in regards to Beyonce being snubbed, I think it would be smart for them to give him at least one of the awards that he's nominated for. But it just shows the level that you have to perform at in order to even be considered. A bar song has been #1 on the charts for a very, very long time. And it's like, if you fall below that level of excellence as a Black person in country music, now, given the way that country music moves, given the way that they pick and choose who they want to let in and who they want to boot out at any given moment, it is so clear how country music will look and sound in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. Like, they're not letting up on the culture that they've created for themselves within that institution. And it's so interesting because you honestly cannot say that about other genres. And we're just gonna leave it there. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments below.